Yeah, his improvisational skills is second to none, Skip. And what he's able to do, and I know it frustrates you because you're like, Andy's letting him get away with this. He's throwing no looks. He's throwing jump passes. He's side-arming me, everything, and now he's shooting jump shot passes to Clyde Edwards-Helaire and getting a touchdown. And his ability to do things, because that's what you said. You're like, Barry, don't go back 10 yards. Barry! Go, Barry, go. And that's exactly what you do here. Patrick, no, you can't throw the ball back across your body like, go. Son. And that's what it is, Skip.
Yep.
He's tremendous. Yes, he has, if the play is there, if he can just go 1, 2, 3, throw the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, throw the ball. Yes, he can do that. But it's when the play breaks down. Yes, Barry can take a simple toss or a simple handoff and hit it. But what made him so special, what made him so unique, Skip, is that Barry had 15,000 yards, but he probably lost another 5,000.
I would agree.
But, you watching this, Skip, nobody's like, oh, he's Barry. Nobody will ever be able to do it because it's like his knees were like shock absorbers.
Yeah.
And I'm only a year. Barry got drafted in '89. I got drafted in '90. So I got an opportunity to be in the league when he was at his absolute prime. We played him my rookie year on Thanksgiving, and to watch him up close and personal on that turf, nobody should be able to jump stop, and start back like he could. Skip, God didn't intend for the human body to do that, but He did with that guy. And that's what God didn't intend for you to be able to do all the arm angles and to be able to do all the stuff that Patrick, but he can do it.
Yeah.
And he's going to, and look, Barry's going to lose. Barry's going to have 180 yards in a game, but he probably, if he just ran straight, probably had 215.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is going to have the space, but so they're going to get him. He's going to make a throw like, Pat, you didn't have to do that. Kind of like the throw late in the game on Sunday. Pat, why would you do that? Because, I've been getting away with it the whole game. You see some of the passes that I was making. I'm running one way, and I sidearm it, and I hit Kelsey for a first down.
Mm-hmm.
To get Carlton Davis is dragging me down, and I muscle it to Juju, and I get a first down. But he's the most exciting quarterback. He's not the most fundamentally sound quarterback. If you're not telling your quarterback, hey, go study Patrick Mahomes, that's not what you're telling him to do. You're going to tell him to go look at somebody like Brady who has perfect footwork on damn near every throw. But that he's Madden. He's the stuff. And I'm not so sure that you can do the stuff that he's doing in real life, even on Madden. But they're going to incorporate that shot put pass that he threw to Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yep.
That's going to be in the next edition of Madden.
Yep, you're right. Quick backstory. Back in, I guess I started 92, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did a show on ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut called Prime Monday ahead of Monday Night Football, and I worked with this guy you know pretty well, your big brother.
Yeah, you
Sterling
did.
Sharpe and I were on this show together.
Right.
And it seemed like every other Monday, we got into some big debate and discussion on the show about Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders.
Right.
And I kept saying, this isn't because I live in Dallas, but it's just Emmitt.
Right.
And it ain't even close.
Right.
Because they took Barry out on short yardage and goal line because he just couldn't do that.
Right.
They wanted a fullback type in to get the tough yards, the hard yards.
Right.
I don't know what Barry weighed, 190?
Maybe 200.
Maybe 200.
Maybe 205.
He was built fairly stout
yeah.
and stocky. I got it. I watched him a lot at Oklahoma State, and he was just sensational and tormented my Oklahoma Sooners. But the point was, it's Mahomes-like, because it doesn't always contribute to winning football, but it is spectacular. It is box office. And it's hard. I don't want to pour all this cold water on Patrick Mahomes because he's good for the product of pro football. He sells.
Yes.
He is marquee. When you see Patrick Mahomes up there in red letters, you say, I got to watch because I might see something I've never seen before.
Correct.
You're in the Hall of Fame. I'm not. But I am a hardcore football purist who has studied the game at the highest levels. I got to know Coach Shula and Coach Walsh and obviously Coach Jimmy and Coach Landry in Dallas and Dave Wannstedt and Norv Turner. I've just studied the position of quarterback. It's the hardest position in all of sports by far to play. That's why I have such regard for what Cooper Rush has done in 4 games. I still can't even believe it because it's hard to get thrown into the fire and suddenly just play at a high level. The point is that it offends my eyes to watch Patrick get away with what he gets away with, but he does more often than not.
Yes.
He gets away with it. And yet, kids, don't try any of this at home. These are all bad idea plays. And they all stem from the fact that Patrick Mahomes simply has the greenest light this side of the one that I have to wait 10 minutes for every morning on the way to Fox out on Olympic Boulevard with nobody coming either direction.
Right.
I have to wait for this green light. And I'm thinking, that's Patrick Mahomes. And I'm waiting because it won't change.
Yeah, when they had a traffic block, I didn't run that one. I ain't gonna even lie.
You know, I've run that a couple of times. Don't tell Ernestine. She always says, don't run the light.
But you're absolutely right. That light at Olympic, I'm like, come on now.
Come on. Okay, that's the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid green light, where he just got it. He's got it beyond anybody who's ever played this game.
Right.
He has even worse footwork than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron is actually very conventional in what happens once he sets his feet, but he never really sets his feet. His arm talent, Aaron's, is so spectacular. He's making throws. Belichick was talking about after the game. You say, I don't know how he did that.
Right.
But it's not Houdini-esque. They're actually conventional throws that he just makes unconventionally because his feet are not set yet.
Right.
He's whipping it with such velocity from such a short arm angle that you say, I don't even know how the ball came out like that. Mahomes is different because Mahomes is all over the map with his footwork. It's crazy. It's the opposite of what you would teach.
But Skip, he has to, because if you look, he played, I think he was a shortstop, and you look
a shortstop.
And you look at shortstops, they're throwing from all the
I
greats, from Ozzie to Omar Vizquel to all those guys, Skip,
I got it.
the angles that which they got to throw the ball. It's not always over the top.
Okay, and it's very pleasing to the eye because it's not what the eye is used to.
Right.
For me, it pleases the easily amused fans, the casual fans who are like, wow factor. You know, I've never seen that. But if we could just see the first play the other night that got me was the 3rd and 1 to Juju, because this is just outrageously wrong, and it worked. It was a first down. It's a big play in the game. It looks like he's sacked by Carlton Davis. And then, as you pointed out yesterday, I thought it was Mike Edwards. It's Antoine Winfield. The safety comes over, and he just almost, this is a pick six waiting to happen, but he managed to get it away and managed to get it there in time. It's what you don't try. Right. It's what Mitchell Trubisky tries and it goes the other way, right? And
most everybody tries that, it goes the other way.
You say, what are you thinking, right? Okay, so this brings me to, let's show the touchdown pass just real quick, because we got to remind everybody. It's the play of the day. It's play of the year.
Everybody's talking about that blew up the internet.
All right.
He outruns the defensive end to get the edge. Now, this is Devin White. As good a tackler.
Spin.
360.
And I don't even know what it was. I don't even know how to describe the throw.
A little push shot or something.
It's just a little push. It's just a little push. He just pushed it toward, I'll push it. I'll just kind of push flip it. It's almost like a shortstop play on a double play where you just push it to the second baseman. Okay. And it worked. If anybody else tries it, heck, if anybody, name somebody, like you can name anybody, tries it, the odds are it's going to get intercepted. Lamar got intercepted. He didn't try anything that crazy, but it has potential to commit the cardinal sin of throwing an interception into the end zone.
The only guy, Skip, that was comparable to this, but he was a little bit more reckless than what Mahomes is Brett Favre. Brett Favre would do he'd be running laterally and throw the ball just throw it, and somehow the guy would catch it. But, Skip, you look at Mahomes as a 4-year starter, 4 Pro Bowls, MVP, Super Bowl MVP. He's 53-14, won 79% of his games. And since he's been the starter, they've averaged at least 30 points a game a season, and averaged 30 points a game, and that's first in the NFL. So although a lot of his stuff is Skip, like, no, don't teach that, it's hard to argue with the results that he's getting. It's kind of like now Barry, even though Skip, he averaged 1,500 yards a season, and they didn't win a whole lot, and that wore on him, because I would love to see Barry. People don't understand.
They got to one NFC championship game. It was when they beat the 91 Cowboys to get to the Washington.
And then, Barry, they bottled Barry up, and because they were a one-man team. Even though they had Herman Moore and they had Brett Perriman, they had some decent players, though. It was all Barry.
Well, the Cowboys actually bottled Barry up, and Eric Kramer threw a party on them for 348 yards. Go ahead.
And so that's what makes them. But in Skip, the thing is, people are more impressed. They're like, man, and they took Tyreek, so he's not going to have. Because if he'd had Tyreek and he played as well as he did, he'd have probably 400 yards passing.
Yep.
Because he would have got some explosive plays. It's kind of like he and Aaron Rodgers are in the same boat. He doesn't have Adams.
Yep.
So he's going to have the 230, 240. It's going to be clean.
Yep.
He's going to have the 250, 260, but he's not going to have that 170 yarder that puts him at 330, 340.
Yep.
He's not going to have that big explosive play, but it's going to be more nickel and dimes as opposed to dollars. But Skip, I mean, it's going to be hard for you to find a more exciting player at that position.
This is why this deeply offends me the most.
What?
There's been this guy who wears number 12.
Yeah.
And he played for 20 years in New England, and he won 6 Super Bowls with 6 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter and overtime.
Right.
But no throw within those drives was spectacular.
No.
None was memorable.
Right.
None was a signature. None was an all-time
You
highlight.
can't, Skip, as great as he's been, you can't remember one throw that he's made. You remember Patrick Mahomes on that Monday night, Skip? He's running. Von Miller's chasing him. He takes the ball from his right hand, puts it in his left, and throws it to Tyreek and gets a first down.
He did.
It's things like that.
I got it.
Skip, you know what it is? It's Michael Jordan and Kareem. Kareem just had the sky hook. He threw it for damn near 39,000 points. Michael Jordan coming to the league, tongue, legs, all over the place. Everybody forgot about Kareem. And everybody talking about air. Mike, it's got to be the shoes. Money, what is it? That's Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady is Kareem. He got 70.
But everything Michael did was conventional and
But
well coached.
he added flair to it.
But he did things we'd never seen before because he was that much better than anybody we'd ever seen.
Skip, he had the flair. I mean, Skip, guys, Dr. J, guys, Connie Hawkins could finger roll. George Gervin was finger rolling. Dr. J was going. But it was just Michael just added the flair to it. I mean, the way he hung up in the air and just take that with you.
And then AFC Championship game at Kansas City for Brady. He converts 3 straight 3rd and 10s. And I can see the 3 throws in my head only because we showed them so many times. But none all-time memorable.
No.
But it's almost impossible to convert 3 straight 3rd and 10s in an overtime to take you in to win the game.
I think the thing that Patrick Mahomes' mystique grew in that game because he was down for the lion's share. He drives them back, gets the lead. Brady goes back down and gives them the lead. And then somehow, in his first year of starting, he drives them down and gets them in field goal range. Even though in a loss, Skip, like Jordan, even in a loss to Boston, his mystique grew.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes' mystique grew even in a loss.
Okay. And yet, final point about Brady, even against Jacksonville in an AFC Championship game with 12 stitches, at the base of his throwing thumb on his right hand, he throws for 124 in the fourth quarter to bring them back from, what were they down? It was 24-14, maybe?
Yeah.
They were down 10.
They were down 10 because they scored 2 touchdowns and they end up winning by 4.
Okay. The point is...
They were down 20-10.
20-10. And they scored 2 touchdowns, and he throws for 124 just in the fourth quarter to get them to another Super Bowl.
Right.
Well, again... to me, that's all-time spectacular, but nobody cares.
It's all about presentation. When you go eat a meal, Skip, they can't just bring you. They just can't bring you the steak and the potatoes. They got to have a little sauce swirled up on it. They got to have a little garnishment on the side. Ooh, that look good. How does that taste? Patrick Mahomes, but it's good, but his presentation is unbelievable.
It's my brother, the restaurateur, always told me.
That's me.
It's about presentation.
Whoa. Hey, he don't want this cook-off with O'Shea. Oh, man, the oxtails I put in that slow cooker.
How many James Beard Awards have you won? I don't know. That's the national award for
Chef
of the Year. Have you won that?
Man, I'm a hood legend with these oxtails. Man, what?
Really?
Jargon? You better stop.
I don't think Rick could compete with your oxtails.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I know you don't want the oxtail. See, we can see. That's why they're gonna love me.
Really?
I'm bringing oxtails.
I'm bringing microwave.
I already know you Tupperware it up.
I'll take on both of them in a cooking competition, Skip. Us New Orleanians know how to cook now.
Y'all just put a bunch of stuff and try to make it hot, Jill.
Guys. Spice. It's not always hot. It's spicy.
Exactly.
It's flavorful. Next up for Pat Mahomes, gentlemen, Monday Night Football versus the Raiders. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.